Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betcross. Another very beautiful day that once again we had. You know, um, we look at football matches happening across the globe, and we make verdicts on these matches based on the previous results each of the teams had, and we look at those results and balance those results and using those, you know, data. We always come up with the best possible verdict for each of the matches that is going on. Okay, that's what we do on a daily basis. So we did that yesterday, and we won every single one of the matches we predicted yesterday, and it was a very very wonderful day for us, and we did so very well. Okay, exactly what we're going to do today once again. Hopefully, but also remember that we have a VIP special group. It is a group you want to join because also there we won all the games that we presented there yesterday as well. So do endeavor to join for a little token so that you don't miss out on all of those games. Okay. All right. With that said, we head to the business of today, and today we start with a game in the Europa League where we'll have Salzburg. Salzburg will be up against Porto. All right. Okay, and we know that RB Salzburg in the Austria side. In the last six matches that they had, we saw them winning three matches and drawing one, also losing two matches in the last six games for Salzburg, the home side. Okay, we look at Porto, their away side. 6 games out of 6, they've won the entire 6 matches that they had in the same time, winning every single one of them. All right, it's a side that is in very good form at the moment. And looking at how these two sides fare from home and away perspective, you can see from home and away basis, Salzburg actually have won 4 matches and have had 3 draws in the last 13 home matches that they have so far. They also lost 3 out of those. The last home game they had was against Stormgrass. We saw them losing out to Stormgrass. That was just a few days ago, and they lost to Stormgrass by 2 goals to 2 from away. Okay, and for away side Porto, who have been doing very well. The last 10 away games they have, sort of winning 8 matches and losing 2 in the last 10 away matches that they have so far. And for the away side, the last 5 away games they've won those 5 away games in a row. Winning even the likes of Sporting and Gil Vicente all lost to Porto. Porto won the last away game they had by 3 goals to 0 against the Ruav. All right, but there's no head-to-head record between these two sides, so there's no method of comparing how they fared when they met each other. So we could, but in my own judgment, I definitely expect to see the away side FC Porto doing very well and winning in this very encounter. So I go with the away side to win out roughly. That's all valid. I way to win against Salzburg. That's all valid. Despite it has a big odd and it's a very good one to explore. All right, the next game that we have for you today is also in the Europa League, where we have Aston Villa who will be up against Bologna, and you could see for the home side, Aston Villa in the last 6 matches have resulted to 4 draws and 2 losses in the last 6 games for Aston Villa, and Bologna on the other hand are winning 2 matches and also losing 4 games in the last 6 matches that they have so far. All right, when you take a look at how these two sides fare from home and away basis, the home side, Aston Villa, the last 10 home games they had saw them winning 8 games and drawing 1, also losing 1 in the last 10 home matches that they had. Aston Villa, they did doing very fine from home, judging by what we have on our records here. And for the away side, Bologna, last 10 away games have resulted to 4 wins for them as well as 1 draw. We've also seen them losing 5 games in the last 10 away matches that they have so far. Bologna, the Italian side. The last away game they had, we saw them losing to Milan. And the last 3 away games they had, saw them losing all 3 away games. They lost to Fiorentina, they lost to Roma, as well as AC Milan. That's not side doing so very well, from away from home, in this very period. Okay, but also for the home side, the Aston Villa also lost out to Crystal Palace in the last home match they had. But the last year we saw these two sides facing each other in the Champions League, and it was Aston Villa who actually won on that very occasion against the Bologna by 2 goals to 0. And we'll be giving the home side the advantage in this very one, expecting them to not lose out in this very encounter. We are going with the home side to either win or draw, and we will not see a lot of goals. So home win or draw and under 4.5, that will be our value for that very game. Okay, and that takes us to the next for today. It is a game in the Danish Cup where we have Kolding who will be up against Nordsjaelland. Okay, for Kolding, a side actually in the Division One, a lower division of the Danish, football, and we have Kolding winning 2 matches and losing two matches, as well as drawing 2 games in the last 6 matches. Okay, but for Nordsjaelland, we see them winning 3 matches and losing 3 out of the last 6 games. Okay, when you look at how it's two side fare from home and away basis, you can see also that Kolding in the last 10 home matches have resulted to 4 wins and 4 draws. They've also lost 2 matches in the last 10 home matches. Okay, the last home game they had was against Vidova, and they lost out to Vidova from home by 1 goal to 0. Meanwhile, the away side, Nordsjaelland, have won just 2 matches in the last 10 away games. They've also had a draw, but have lost a lot of matches. They've lost 7 games in the last 10 away games. The last away game they had saw them losing to Randers by 3 goals to 0. But again, we saw this very side doing very well, although at home to Mightyland, they won on that very occasion. Last game they had was against Mightyland, and they won on that very occasion. Okay, you know, um, okay, but on head-to-head basis, the head-to-head records we have here was last year both sides met in club friendlies, and Kolding won in club friendlies against Nordsjaelland on that very occasion by 1 goal to 0. But I'm going to judge this very one with the fact that we know that Nordsjaelland have got better quality compared to Kolding, a side that is in the lower division. So we are going with the away side, Nordsjaelland, to take the day in this very one. Away to win out shortly. That's what we expect for that very encounter. And the next game we have for you today, which I will be the last for today, is in Swedish second division. It is called Swedish Super 10, where we have Trelleborg, who will be up against Orgryte. All right, for Trelleborg, in the last 6 matches, have seen them winning 2 games and losing 4 matches. And Orgryte, on the other hand, have won 5 games and drawn 1. They've not lost a single game in the last 6 matches that they had. When you look at how the side fared from home and away basis, you can see Trelleborg haven't been faring well. They've actually managed to achieve 2 victories and 4 draws in the last 10 home games. They've lost 4 matches as well. The last home game they had was against Sandviken, and they lost against Sandviken by 2 goals to 1 from home. All right, for which side? Orgryte is a side who's in good form at the moment, even from away. We will see that they've won 7 games and 2 draws in the last 10 away matches. They've lost only once, and the last 7 away games in a row, they won all 7 away matches in a row. So that's a very big consistency there out there, for the away side. The last time they met, it was actually in May, and it was Orgryte who won on that very occasion by 2 goals to 0. But Orgryte played from home on that very occasion. But here, Orgryte is playing from away, and I'm actually going with Orgryte, the away side, who has been very consistent in the last 7 away games, winning all of them to actually win against Trelleborg. So away side to win out shortly. That's all valid. And that concludes this for us today. Wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes. And remember, the other games we're having will be on our VIP special group. Do endeavor to join. Make sure you join the VIP special, not the lower. All right. And you've seen all other games for today out there. So the best of luck. Remember to play responsibly. Tomorrow is another day. We'll definitely be back. But until then, keep winning.